please subscribe. In a realm where the moonlit nights were draped in shadows and whispers, there roamed a solitary figure, known to the world as Lulu the Gypsy. She drifted from town to town, her tattered cloak billowing in the night breeze, a silhouette against the dim glow of the stars. Her eyes, a reflection of the lonely soul within, carried the weight of countless sunsets witnessed in solitude. Lulu had no place to call home, no ties to bind her heart to a single soul. She stole in the night, not out of malice, but out of necessity. The world had forgotten her, and she, in turn, had forgotten what it felt like to be seen. One moonlit evening, as Lulu ventured into a quaint village, her eyes fell upon a modest farmhouse nestled at the edge of the woods. Smoke lazily curled from the chimney, and the distant sounds of farm animals echoed through the still night air. This was the home of Roger, a simple man who had toiled the land for years, carving a life from the soil beneath his weathered boots. Driven by a hunger that went beyond the rumblings of an empty stomach, Lulu approached the farmhouse with stealth. Her nimble fingers danced over the locks, and the door creaked open, revealing a warm hearth and the aroma of a simple stew. Roger, a man of routine, had become accustomed to the rhythm of his solitude. His days were spent plowing the fields and tending to his crops, and his nights, in the comfort of the flickering fire, were for solitude and reflection. Yet, on this particular night, the creak of the door stirred him from his thoughts. He found Lulu standing in the dim light, a fragile silhouette against the warmth of his home. There was no anger in Roger's eyes, only a silent understanding of the world's cruelties that had brought this wanderer to his doorstep. "Sit, weary traveler," Roger said, his voice as gentle as the rustling leaves outside. Lulu hesitated, her eyes locked with his. In those moments, a connection was forged, a silent understanding that went beyond the spoken word. As they shared a humble meal, Lulu found herself captivated by the tales of Roger's struggles and triumphs. The loneliness that had been her constant companion began to wane in the glow of his hearth. Days turned into weeks, and Lulu lingered in Roger's company. She helped tend the fields and care for the animals, the rhythm of farm life becoming a new melody in her once silent existence. As she allowed herself to become entwined with the warmth of companionship, something within her began to change. One fateful night, as a full moon bathed the landscape in silver light, Lulu found herself standing at the edge of the fields, a peculiar energy coursing through her veins. A strange compulsion seized her, and without understanding why, she began to weave an incantation that danced between the moonbeams and whispered through the rustling leaves. Unbeknownst to Roger, Lulu cast a spell upon the land, a well-intentioned act fueled by a desire to repay the kindness she had found in the arms of the farmer. Little did she know, some curses were better left untouched. In the days that followed, the farm flourished. The crops grew taller, the fruit sweeter, and the livestock thrived in abundance. Roger marveled at the sudden turn of fortune, believing it to be the work of some benevolent spirit. However, as the weeks passed, an ominous shadow fell over the once idyllic landscape. The air became heavy with an unnatural stillness, and the vibrant colors of the fields began to fade. The earth beneath Roger's feet turned sallow and muddy, resisting the touch of his calloused hands. The bounty that had once promised prosperity now bore the weight of a curse. Lulu, too, felt the change within her. The joy that had briefly illuminated her lonely heart dimmed as she witnessed the unintended consequences of her magic. She had not anticipated the delicate balance of nature, and her well-intentioned spell had disrupted the harmony of the land. Desperation etched lines on Roger's face as he struggled to understand the sudden blight that befell his once thriving farm. In his search for answers, he turned to the one person who had brought both light and darkness into his life, Lulu. Guilt weighed heavily on Lulu's shoulders as Roger beseeched her for a solution. She confessed to the spell she had cast, the attempt to repay his kindness leading to an unintended disaster. Roger, however, saw beyond the mistake, recognizing the loneliness that had driven Lulu to such drastic measures. Together, they embarked on a journey to lift the curse that hung over the land. Legend spoke of ancient remedies and mystical rituals, and in the quiet corners of dusty tomes, they found a glimmer of hope. The answer lay in the simplest of ingredients, a humble jar of garlic salt. With resolve in their hearts, Lulu and Roger set out to gather the required ingredients, traversing through enchanted forests and traversing the realms between magic and reality. The journey tested their endurance and strengthened the bond forged in the crucible of adversity. As they returned to the ailing farm, they circled the afflicted fields, casting handfuls of garlic salt onto the barren earth. The air crackled with energy, and the land seemed to respond to their plea for redemption. Slowly, the muddy soil began to transform, regaining its richness and vitality. In the quiet hours before dawn, a subtle breeze carried away the remnants of the curse. The first light of morning revealed a transformed landscape, the fields once again teeming with life, the colors vibrant, and the air infused with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Roger and Lulu stood hand in hand, their journey through darkness leading them to the dawn of a new beginning. The curse, though lifted, had left its mark on the land and on their hearts. The bond between them had deepened, and the scars of the past had become threads in the tapestry of their shared story. With the curse lifted and the farm restored, Lulu faced a choice. The road of her nomadic existence beckoned, but the roots she had planted in Roger's world tugged at her heart. In the end, it was Roger who encouraged her to follow the whispers of her soul. As Lulu resumed her journey under a sky painted with the hues of a setting sun, she carried with her the lessons of love, friendship, and the delicate dance between the magical and the mundane. Roger, too, returned to the rhythms of his farm, forever grateful for the transient presence that had touched his life. In the tapestry of their shared story, Lulu and Roger remained connected across the vast expanse of the realm. For curses, like the storms that shape the landscape, may pass, but the resilience of the human spirit and the magic of unexpected connections endure.